Hi everyone, this is Tracy, Chamberlain Higginbotham of Women Ties down at the Women Ties Pool House. Women Ties for 15 years has been helping to promote, publicize, and unite New York State women entrepreneurs in order for them to increase their brand awareness and economic ties with other women across the state in order to help them increase their brand identity and revenue in order to help eradicate in some way pay inequality. Today's podcast is a very special podcast. Today is the 100th anniversary of women's suffrage here in the United States. We were not the first country to have women's suffrage. And I had to do a podcast and record it on my experiences, 3 very specific experiences that influenced me to have a very feminist, female-focused business model that Women Ties has had for 15 years. And in case you didn't know, Women Ties believes very, very strongly in the buying and the selling power of women, and we encourage women to buy from women first and foremost anytime that they need to spend money or if they need to hire somebody. Until there's a pay equality law, we need women and men, but women to especially financially support other women in business and women entrepreneurs. So here is my podcast for the day entitled My Special Reasons for Celebrating a Century of Suffrage. This morning's New York Times headline, A Century of Suffrage, immediately transported me to the front row experiences at 3 special events celebrating women's suffrage. In Syracuse 2002, female leaders from all walks of life in Syracuse read the transcript of the 3rd National Women's Rights Convention held in Syracuse on September 8th through 10th, 1852. As an up-and-coming leader of women entrepreneurship in the time in central New York, really a new career choice for many females, I was invited to attend. Listening to prestigious female leaders from Syracuse, including past and now president and attorney Karen DeCrow, ignited an instant fire in my spirit for women's rights. At one moment at the reenactment, my spirit joined the current speakers and the ghosts of past women like Elizabeth Cady Stanton from my father's hometown of Johnstown, New York, and Matilda Jocelyn Gage, a local Syracuse feminist. The second soul-moving experience was receiving the prestigious Central New York Makers Award in Seneca Falls, once again for my dedication to women in business. After receiving the award, standing shoulder to shoulder with other women honored for their own unique contributions, a woman dressed like historical feminist Elizabeth Cady Stanton approached me, thanking me for continuing the work of foremothers like her. She said, "At the end of my life, I didn't accomplish all that I wanted to, but because of women like you today, Tracy, I know my life's mission had purpose. Thank you for all that you continue to do to carry the torch for me and my friend Susan B. Anthony." I was stunned by the accolade and a lump in my throat, and my entrepreneurial life took on a new meaning. The third event that moved me took place high above New York City's new Hudson Yards project on November 6, 2017. Invited there by New York State Lieutenant Governor Kathy Hochul to celebrate the passage of New York State's women's suffrage in 1917. With my 2 20-year-old professional New York City working sons by my side, bathed in purple, yellow, and white lights, which were the suffragette colors, we celebrated with wine and viewed the skyline where we were inspired by the words of the presenters. My sons got a first-row seat this time amongst mostly feminists learning why I championed the cause of equal pay for women. It was a surreal moment and one never to be forgotten. Today, as our country celebrates the national passage of the 19th Amendment, there is still much work to be done for women's rights, including passage of the Equal Rights Amendment, which will bring more equality for women across other key areas. When my youngest son called me the morning Senator Kamala Harris was picked to be Joe Biden's running mate, he said, "Mom, did you hear the wonderful news? A female vice president has been officially chosen. You must be happy." I said, "Yes, I am, Adam. Thanks for calling." My sons grew up respecting a woman's equal right in business, sports, and life because of my discussions with them and my example. And if it wasn't for accepting the first invitation to listen to the reenactment of Syracuse's 3rd National Women's Convention and trying to follow best that I could in the footsteps of such feminist icons as Elizabeth Cady Stanton, Susan B. Anthony, Karen DeCrow, and even athletic barrier-breaking Catherine Switzer, and others, I wouldn't be as joyful as I am today to celebrate a century of suffrage with my sisters and brothers who believe that women are equal to men in all ways. In entrepreneurial and feminist spirit, this is Tracy Chamberlain Higginbotham, founder of Women Ties, founder of the Women Ties Equality Division, founder of the Women's Athletic Network. You can find us and me on Facebook at Women Ties or at Tracy Higginbotham. We have a great blog at womenties.blog. You can find me at Twitter at Women Ties, where I tweet mostly things that have to do with women in sports or women's rights. And if you have any other comments, I'd love to hear it. But what I would encourage you to do today on the century anniversary of suffrage is to continue the fight to help women become equal in all ways possible. Absolutely make sure that you get out there and vote this year, and encourage all the women that you know around you to support other women financially. Thank you very much. I hope you have a blessed and feminist day until we speak again.